a transformation. Somebody feels like it's almost like the winds are even blowing different. You're seeing different signs that are being sent to you from divine. You know that there's a transformation taking place right now, but you're not entirely sure where it's leading. But you're honoring the alchemy that is occurring within you right now. You know, people talk about karma, and they often say things like it's good karma or bad karma, right? I might have even said it myself. But the truth is, it's a very like westernized way of looking at karma. The truth with karma, there's no labels to it, there's no judgment to it, it just is, right? As you clear through the cycles of karma, because our cycles, they're loops, you know, and it's across generations, across lifetimes, and across this one lifetime too, right? As you clear through them, your dharma appears, you begin to understand your purpose more. Okay. And karmic connections. Now, if you're on the divine journey, your divine person is literally your most ultimate mirror, your ultimate reflection, okay? Very powerful if you're on that journey, right? And generally, anyone in karmic connections who have signed up to any kind of connection that is just really unhealthy, they are your absolute mirror to your shadow. Okay, the only thing is you have to break free from those loops. Yeah, karmic connections keep you stuck and cycling through the loops again and again and again, but they are your opportunity to break free, but you can't see at the time necessarily, right? You play through all of the darkness, you know. Again, if you're in on the divine journey, it's kind of like, it's different because the divine journey is leading you to this. Look at that ultimate wholeness I've just heard. Look at that absolute abundance within. You're accessing your heart space. This is where this transformation is preparing you for. You're learning how to love yourself without anyone or anything outside of you. No family pressures, no expectations from society. You're honouring your unique truth, and within that you're finding stability, and as a result you're going to be grounding that in your physical reality. I'm seeing family. I'm seeing really traditional energy, which is quite ironic because I feel like someone's breaking free from a lot of binds. I'm seeing like the galactic energies. I think someone's really connecting to, you know, maybe there's a starseed energy coming through here, which is beautiful. But it's you're learning that, yeah, as you alchemize the heart within your emotions, you're able to really provide for those who you are here for. Yes, it could be family, but also you've got the souls you're here to help. You know, we're all here we're leading each other home. How can you help? You're, especially on the divine journey, you're so connected to the collective frequency. Mama Gaia, Pachamama, Mother Earth, she is ascending. Her frequency is vibrating on all different levels, and we see it, you know. You're so tapped in to that, right? Just like the moon cycles, when everybody is connected to the pull of the moon and the water within, right, their body. You know, you're connected to this human home, you know, Earth, and there's something about really protecting her. New ground, new Earth, soul aligned connections, soul purpose. This is beautiful. This is like, oh my God. It's just something about this is so, oh my God. And now the 9 of Cups. Whatever this transformation is, the reason it feels so different is because you have dug deep within. You have done the work to get to this place where you can finally say, oh my God, the treasure has been within all along. And as a result, you're finally understanding where your alignment has been teaching you. Such a personal journey. And now you're understanding who and what you want to offer your services to. Yeah, and when I say services, it could genuinely be something to do with your purpose here, but also it could be to do with even just, you know, your love, your heart space is needed, right? The world needs you. I just can't I think that you have a purpose that is just, yeah, look at this. I've instantly heard praying for a miracle, okay? Your independence is really helping to, I think that you could be someone either you own a business or you're building something that's really solely like yours, right? It's so unique as well. It's something that you're putting, it's like you're adding little bits in here and there, you know. Say if you had like a herbal tea shop or something, not even a tea, just herbal shop, and you're adding new herbs in stock, and I can see you putting them on the shelves in different like glass, you know, people can see them, right? So maybe you're putting different, like I said, services out there or something, But I've heard something about creating community as well. So you could be genuinely helping the community. I think we get so caught up and lost in the idea that, you know, you have to offer your services at all these prices, and it's like only accessible to people who are already, you know, on certain levels of, you know, whatever it is. But you have to remember there's literally community who needs you. There's community who literally can't come through with that, like, money or whatever it is. Yeah, look, these are people who need you. You have such abundance within you. The reason you're here is to help people who are not in that situation, who are in the situation where you have been. You have been in the dark, you have felt down now, you have felt all alone, you have felt abandoned, right? You felt like your inner child has been taking the reins many times. Okay, so for this, finally clearing through that, I feel like there's something about some kind of karmic connections. That's why that's come through there. That was coming through before. There's karmic connections that you're finally understanding you're understanding their purpose, right? Which is going to help you to release that, like the emotion of it, because obviously you don't want to repeat that, number one, and you don't actually want to, you know, it's important to remember that you're actually, when you're in a karmic connection, you're actually, in a sense, enabling them to, and who they are and their behavior, which can be really like a hard thing to like accept and, you know, be like, well, hold on, they did this. But at the same time, you allow yourself to keep cycling through that, right? So you're allowing them to do that, and vice versa. That doesn't make it okay or easy or anything like that. It can be really, really dark and painful, right? But it's like you're gathering the yeah, look, walking away. You're gathering kind of the energy within you to understand these emotions now, not let them bury you and weigh down and drown out what you truly desire. You know, the connection that you truly do desire. That, you know, when I say connection, it could be many, like I say, soul tribe energies, divine justice. That's what karmic loops do. Karmic energies, whatever the karmic is creating this energy where your soul is finding balance, your soul is finding its purpose, its alignment, its dharma, right? Because this come out with a star. This makes sense. This is where you're coming from. Completions, truly. And these have not been easy completions. I'm hearing like your heart has felt trapped, and so your soul has felt trapped because your heart has not been able to express its truth. You know, it's been cycling through the darkness, and now you're finally standing up and you're saying, oh wait, I can look up beyond, I can see there's a sunrise there. Yes, this is all burnt to the ground and there's nothing here. It's drought. It's done. Everything I've been praying for, I've been on my knees, but guess what? I get to stand up now and say, oh wait, that's the direction that I'm going to. There's that light that I've been looking for. It was there all along. And more than anything, it's now reflecting back to you, your light within, which is what's helping you to understand how there are others outside of you who need you, who need this from you. There has been very many connections here. I think there's been a huge family shake-up. Okay, there's definitely been something. It could have been something to do with trauma from a young age, but certainly you felt like you've had to sever many ties. I'm also getting here that it could be somebody's business, like we're building an empire or, you know, something, and it's kind of like it worked against them. And now they're kind of rebuilding themselves. They've had to really take some time out to see things clearly. I think that they had experiences with connections that were just not in their best interest. And it's been so hard to understand that, because I don't think this is someone who's like that. Okay, I've just heard, actually, I think that that's what they've thought, but they've not realised and reflected on their past actions in a way to understand that karmic balance that's coming through. So that's interesting. Maybe it could be past lives as well, you know. 8 of Swords. That's come out with that Devil card. You talk about entrapment. Entrapped in a connection, entrapped in multiple contracts is what I'm hearing. Okay, contracts. And this could be actual business contracts, legal contracts, maybe marriage or something. But certainly, it could definitely be something to do with like a third-party karmic connection that was coming through. Oh my God, and just as I said that, 7 of Swords. I'm seeing crows could be significant, black feathers. There's definitely been protection here as well, but I do think that someone's massively betrayed their own heart, to be honest. Or they've done what they need to do, very shady energy, to get what they want, okay? But they've had to then pay the price. I was going to say balance the karma of that justice. And if you are on the divine journey, you'll see that your karmic lessons coming so much faster than anyone else's. You're going to have to, if you're not in alignment, you're going to know about it. And I think this is what's happened. People have walked away, but so have you had to see what you've needed to walk away from. This energy certainly has, okay? Where you felt betrayed, where you thought that was your heart's desires, but it wasn't. It just left you drowning in emotions that were just painful. Finally, time to move forward. Whole new world. And it all begins within. And you know what? I feel like there's this energy of really building yourself up now, but also with the right people around you. You're transitioning. You're no longer just, trying to build something that needs to just be released, even if it's painful to do so. Yeah, Soul Tribe, you can see that. 4 of Wands. Could be going to a festival, a celebration, a wedding or something. But you're finally ready to no longer be in like self-isolation mode after all that healing. You're ready to connect with could be the right person specifically, but certainly the right energies around you, because you've had the ones that you've had to learn some lessons from, and you've, like I said, you felt alone, but it's time to no longer feel alone. It's time to, you're in the inside thinking, oh, look at all this world, I want to travel it, I want to explore, but I'm just in this, like, what's happening? Well, you now racing ahead, about to get on that bike and like drive off. I love that energy. On the back of a bike, right? You're being guided massively. Death and rebirth. Okay, you're massively being guided, and it's like your actual heart's desires that keep coming through. It's like you're being reminded of those. Don't forget those, because they're connected to something deeper within. Okay, King of Pentacles. Dogs could be significant to somebody. I'm getting this like really mature energy. Could even be a father figure, or just some kind of masculine energy who's really kind of offered some kind of, I'm hearing wisdom and guidance specifically for this message, which is interesting. But it could also be somebody who's really found that abundance within and who's recognizing their inner stability now, that they actually have what it takes to offer moving forwards. We've got the Empress and the King of Pentacles here. That's very abundant energy. Let's put it like that, okay? Free yourself. That's exactly what it is. Finally clearing the past energies and taking back control of your life. Okay. Finances and career. That keeps coming through massive. There's something about finances and career. This is a part of the big change, that transformation, the winds of change. It's literally the fact that so much is different now. Where you thought that maybe you were, maybe somebody did have a business. King of Pentacles, he's like literally king of the castle, right? He has it all together, but it's come out with the 10 of Swords and the Justice and the Star. This is someone who's had to really have an identity shift. They weren't in alignment with their purpose, okay? But they were doing exactly what they needed to for their soul to learn what they needed to at the time, okay? But there's also this energy of looping through the same patterns and behaviours. It's time to start thinking differently, right? Not allow the emotion to just be buried beneath the surface, and therefore actually it's running the show without you realising, because you think that it's buried beneath the surface. No, it's running the show. It's just you're not addressing it so that it can healthily run the show, if you will, okay? Chemistry card here. Worth waiting for. There's some kind of strong magnetic connection that it's like divine timing is doing its thing so that it can come through at the right time. Okay, right time when you're ready. Romantic feelings, yeah, when you can actually, you're in the space where you can explore, forgiving and learning, explore this energy, these feelings, and understand what it is that's happened, why there's been this separation, why there's been a separation. There are unanswered questions here, and there's a lot of emotion beneath the surface that have to be surfaced, brought up, right? And it was like, it wasn't ready, the energy wasn't, there were a lot of depth happening within, but it wasn't being reflected on the outside. Someone wasn't ready for these heart-to-heart conversations. They were taking things far too lightly, right? And I think it's because there's just all this, I'm just seeing that spider web again, and now it's kind of like going from that like spider web that entraps the fly towards actually a chrysalis, and the butterfly is going to be emerging, right? That's how it feels, really shakes. That's why that could be the entrapment energy. There's also something coming in about this Empress energy. It's like that divine feminine energy. What she had a lot of love to give, but there's a separation here, and it's because of some kind of absolute destruction, and she's really felt the weight of having to move away from that, and she's had to do it alone. She's carried the scars and the wounds of this. It's not been easy for her, okay? But what she's done is she's gathered it's kind of like this inner kind of strength, if you will, this stability within to do things differently, to regain her power within. So it was needed for that reason. And I think that she's focused on kind of gathering the right people around her, even if there's family issues. She's learning how to step into her divine feminine energy to access kind of any kind of connections from a really nurturing, compassionate space, right? Whilst honouring boundaries is what I'm hearing, okay? There is something on her mind though, and that is this energy of this, you know, this union. Or maybe it's just like heart-to-heart conversations, you know, something about it. Be bold and make the first move. There's something going on there. Be bold and make the first move. I think that there's something about, whatever I said about changes that are taking place, okay? But I do think that this, whoever this divine masculine energy is that's coming through, it's time to take action with that. It's bold and make the first move. Well, someone wants to come through. I think this divine masculine energy has had to seriously clear out some karma. I mean, and they have felt the darkness of it. Like, seriously, dark night of the soul, 100%. Yeah, it's time to release negativity. They were holding on to way too much. You were allowing others to hold on to them that were just bringing this energy. Of course it wasn't going to work for the Empress, you know. You can't bring an energy like that into that situation. It's not going to be healthy. And plus, when you're allowing divine masculines, when you're allowing karmic energies into your system and your being, your, like, wherever you are, you have to understand you're allowing that into your divine feminines too. That's not, you're going to have a lot of, gonna have to clear up a lot of this karma. Yeah. The energy is gaining momentum because it suggests that you just haven't understood the lesson yet. You're cycling through it, and it's not just about you. And I think that this is someone who wasn't understanding or taking accountability. Time to give rather than take. It's now time for them to understand that it's not just about them, to give back to someone who wanted to truly give to them from their heart space. It wasn't time, it wasn't ready. None of you, the balance would have been completely off, right? But that's not the point. What happened, happened. Luck is on your side. Whoever wants to make this first move, take bold action, and, you know, new start is coming. Well, oh my God, you are good enough. Major Virgo energies here. You are good enough. Okay, so there's definitely been the energy of that self-worth. Yeah, there's definitely been self-worth things going on. Nothing is yet set in stone. Conclusions are within reach. Your commitment is being tested. If someone genuinely thinks that that's it, it's all done, it's all over, or whatever they're making up in their mind, nothing is yet set in stone. It's literally them who needs to take the right action. So, and that can happen at any point in your life. It's all about the action you take, okay? That determines what happens moving forwards. I'm seeing something about someone being contractually obliged or something to do with business, connected to somebody, but I think that it was also entangled in like a connection as well. And they began to, I think that in the beginning they really didn't see this, but they've been realising this, okay? This is why they've had to take their power back, if you will, and their actual, what they desire from their heart space has been on pause, worth waiting for. And so has their truth. Yeah, heart-to-heart conversations, the truth about how they feel. There's been this, too many cards here, there's been that X energy they're just really, I'm hearing tight binds, okay, so whatever that means. The King of Swords, interesting, okay, Strength, and the 10 of Wands. Yeah, someone's really had to, I think they've had to take accountability in the sense of they've had to really have some realizations and reflections, like, oh my God, it was me all along, like, this is what I've allowed, right? King of Cups, this is nice. So someone's going from being so cut off to emotion, feeling the heavy weight of emotion, and, you know, because of what they've been trapped in, right? And they're finally gathering the strength to say, hold on a second, let me transmute that, let me alchemize that so that I can actually use that as fuel for King of Cups, being emotionally stable, being emotionally receptive of what does want to come through. They want to communicate from their heart. That's where the heart-to-heart conversations came through. They don't want to deny it anymore. They don't want to pretend it's not real anymore. They don't want to betray their emotions and also the truth of whoever they want to move towards here. It's very abundantly strong feminine energy, you know. They're feeling the Temperance card. It's been a while. I'm sensing someone's feeling the absence here. The Sun card. Someone's going to be really important. Or, yeah, I'm thinking about the hemispheres, okay, but there's definitely a new beginning coming. So we've got Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Swords, so I feel like there's something about something that's been grounding for a while, and someone who's finally ready to honour their truth. Those tendencies, because it's habitual, you know, you can really become habitual that you don't even realise that you're playing out again. You're cutting yourself off from your emotions. You're not being honest, or you're getting into your headspace too much instead of finding something about meditation. I think someone might have been trying meditation. There's something about, especially Divine Feminines, to stay on top of your spiritual practices, if you will. So whatever that means to you, you know, something about connecting with Mama Gaia. She did come through for a reason, okay? Your inner guidance is real and trustworthy, okay? Decide to be happy now. I think that's what someone's finally doing. They're no longer trying to hold on to something that clearly needs to be a cycle that's, you know, done. This situation is already resolved. I'm seeing a portal, so it's kind of like someone's finally walking out of the portal, like they've been stuck in something and they felt like it was stuck, but the portal was open all along for them to walk through it. They're finally walking through it, and it all just took a decision, a letting go decision, finally allowing themselves to be free, you know, honoring that they have the safety within them. Love yourself first. Exactly. They've finally been loving themselves first and doing what's right to them, not what everybody else wants from them, or, you know, whatever they thought they were expected to do to fulfill some kind of need that is just ego based, right? Self-respect. Yeah, there've been a lot of people around them who have just I don't know, they've not been honest. I've been telling them the truth about situations. I think that's because they themselves they haven't had the right people around them for these situations. They've just cycled through with them. Okay, make the effort. It's time to make the effort towards where someone does want to go. Whoa, there's a lot of cards. I won't take them, but it's engagement, reconciliation. This could be the one. Give your relationship a chance. I think that the information they were getting was just to not take that leap of faith from the people around them. The support may have been things they're seeing online or whatever it is, right? Yeah, look at this. They were told that, oh, it's just unrequited love. You know, it's not real, it's whatever. And they were told to focus on, you know, what they do want, but all along they've known what they want. It's been beneath the surface. Look at that deception. They've even worn masks. People around them have worn masks. They've even pretended to, you know, be someone for this situation they've been entrapped in that just wasn't right for them. And now it's time to really be honest. I think someone's had to remove a lot of masks, be honest with themselves more than anything, and no longer allow the deceptive energies around them that are just keeping them in self-betrayal. But I think they've also experienced that betrayal, and now they're ready to race ahead towards where they know they want to be. You know, Divine is finally saying, here you go, here's that opportunity that we presented to you before, right? Luck is on your side, and it's time for you to get out that headspace and like this space where you've been in. So, you know, free yourself from all the ways that you've been in the past, including even if it is a financial situation. If you think that you're going to be worse off, if it's not in alignment with your purpose, and you can feel that in a deep soul level, there's a reason for that, right? You're meant to be realigning right now. Quite a profound message. So there's a lot of karmic clearing taking place, okay? But where you're headed is, the situation's already resolved, okay? It's going to be from the heart space. Yeah. Something about it's going to be really liberating and allow you to really take a leap of faith towards something else that you've been really wanting to take a leap of faith towards, okay? And it comes with walking away from what needs to be walked away from and honouring that process. Grief is too often overlooked, especially, again, that westernized energy. So it could be like a societal thing, but truthfully honour your feelings and the processes and the cycles of this, okay? That's how you can finally move forward. Someone's been operating from masks. They've been kind of moving towards what they want, but it's been from behind a mask, some kind of deceptive energy. You can't call in your person or whatever it is that's in your alignment if you're not in your authenticity, if you're not showing your true face, right? In whatever this situation is. I know there's something about, you know, fearing that, like, not being enough, and, you know, that there's no reciprocated energy here, but at the end of the day, you have to decide to be happy for you now, not just stay behind something because of a what if, right? Even if, like, the whatever comes to you isn't what you wanted or whatever, you can then still move forwards finally towards what is, right? if that makes sense. And again, this situation is already resolved. There's something about this. There's happiness here. There's heart-to-heart conversations, right? But it really does mean releasing these unrequited love energies of the past that have caused this mind ache, I'm hearing. That's preventing somebody from really taking this action moving forwards. Again, I think somebody might present a bit more lighthearted because they're still trying to find this balance within them, their head on their heart space, okay? You got the king of Swords, Cups, Pentacles. The only one that's not here is the King of Wands, and he's the most confident king, okay? So this is someone who's really finding some kind of internal balance without the ego. There's something about divine feminine energy here who also needs to be aware of whatever in her past she needs to release. That release your ex energy, the energies that you might have thought were your aligned person or people or whatever, but actually, in fact, they were there to teach you some lessons. It's time to move forward. Even past versions of other people, it's time for you to honor you now and recognize who you have become, because it's not who you were before, which means it's not in alignment with those people before, those situations, environments. Okay, so there's a lot of kind of being true to you now. And again, your inner guidance is real and trustworthy, honoring your truth, okay? Your internal abundance is what's bringing this home, and it's taken a long time, but that's because there's been a lot of imbalance, finding balance, especially when it comes to divine justice. There's this energy, emotions are running high, a new romantic cycle begins, show the world the real you. This need for authenticity, right? Being true to you, and it does come with, not a lot of people you're not here for everybody. You're not meant to be, understood or accepted by everybody, whatever. It's about you aligning with where and who you need to be, right? There was something about show the world the real you being here to help, like, collectively, humanity. There's something about that's really important, okay, for this. And this new romantic cycle comes with the honoring of the emotions, the heart-to-heart conversation, because there's a separation, and, being honest about kind of what's been happening in that with your emotions and with everything that's been beneath the surface. But it doesn't have to be straight away, allow yourselves to just like breathe into that energy first, okay? And see how it feels. You don't need to go 0 to 100 in like deep passion or emotion. Like, allow yourself to feel through this. Yeah, be honest, not avoiding brushing beneath the surface, but really checking in where you're at now, okay? So you can truly honor the emotions that are coming up, because there's going to be a lot of emotion, okay? Pay attention. Let me know. Oh, and stay grounded, really important. Let me know if this message was for you. Sending love.